There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself. The good book says that where your treasure is, that is where your heart is. And this simply means that where your treasure is where you have something valuable. And in the context of marriage, would like to find out today, how do you make yourself valuable in your marriage? Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global. My good name is Janique. I'm your host for today. And when I think about making yourself valuable in marriage, the first thing that comes to mind is personal growth and development. And you find that many people often forget about this. You know, when they get married, they settle and they forget about personal growth and development. Maybe we can start from there, the importance of personal growth and development where making yourself valuable in marriage is concerned.
Yes, and a lot of times when people, you say personal, they imagine it will happen. You know, we are used to physical growth happening by itself. Mm-hmm. You just eat and you find yourself growing taller and all that.
Yeah.
We are used to that. Biology just organizing itself. Mm-hmm. So the term growing, the child is growing, we go, we measure weight, we check milestone. The time we are introduced to the concept of growth is just natural and automatic.
Right.
So many people never detach it from physical to energetic,
right,
to mental, to
right,
soulish, to internal, to effort. Physical growth, if you just eat, give the body food, it would know where to put what. And particularly when you're young, you don't bother too much about weight management or things like that. In fact, we just want you to. So the concept of growth is introduced in a very different context.
Yes.
Many people never unlearn it from there. The baby usually has an opening here because the skull is made of plates. And at the time the baby will be born, they'll be squeezing somewhere. And when it's squeezing, if the skull is tight, it can break. So it is leaving an opening for the plates to overlap if the squeezing is too much and still come back. It's an arrangement by the genius of the creator that if there is too much squeezing, the body can have flexibility. Now that hole closes later. The plates cement themselves, about 4 or 5. In fact, I was told it's not only here, but also sometimes place. The growth of physical arrangement and the body has been studied to detail because many times it's a matter of life and death. But the growth of advancing yourself to your highest version is largely left for yourself. Dale Carnegie was so Andrew Carnegie was so frustrated when he noticed that a guy writing an article for a newspaper, a young boy, who came to know later, now we know him, a young boy was called Napoleon Hill, came to interview him about principles of success. He was successful in the steel industry, and he was an old man. He told him, you know what, you're bringing up a subject I'm concerned about. People have written things about physics, things about science, things about mathematics, how to do it right. If you're doing geology, if you're doing, but nobody is putting together how to do it right in personal success, how to arrive to wealth, how to arrive to abundance. Nobody, there's no put together. The material is not anywhere.
Yeah.
He said, I don't just want to do an interview with you. I want to invite you to be the first to put together that philosophy in a book. And in order to do it, you're going to interview successful people and see what they're telling you that cuts across. That's what I want you to write together. You're a young man. It will take you a lot of time, close to 20 years. I'll not be on the air by that time. He was an old man. But what I will do for you right now is to give you a letter of introduction. Just like a way the person can introduce you to everybody, you know, to presidents, to whoever to sex. And it will start with Henry Ford, the Ford vehicles you see. Go to, and this is Andrew Carnegie. Oh, okay, give that boy an interview. So he just asked his questions, put together, and told him, you have to have a main job, you must have a main career. You're going to be doing this by the side. It will take you long to put them together, but you must be committed. And then told him, let me know that you take the offer. You are going to finance your transport, because after the project is fulfilled, you are going to reap because you're the author. But I just want you to know I'm concerned. There's no researcher there to bring out and telling him that time Albert Einstein has shown us the laws of space. Other guys, Galileo has done mathematics and stars. Who is doing personal success? And Napoleon Hill jumped at the opportunity. And he told him, had you delayed your response beyond a minute, I would have cancelled it. Because when people procrastinate to make decisions, they'll also procrastinate to implement.
That's true.
So personal growth has been a concern since that time. That's when he wrote How to Think and Grow Rich. And if you're listening and you've not read a book like that, either How to Think and Grow Rich or The Richest Man in Babylon, or a book of that category, you are also sleeping on your potential. Make sure you read people who talk to that space, because it's the richest place. It's not the Witwatersrand of South Africa where gold is. The richest place is not where they're digging oil in Arabia. It's inside of you. The richest place in the world is graveyard, because we are burying unexploited potential. That's in you. The greatest minefield is not, it's in you. But there's a conspiracy to keep you vague and unrealized. So we distract you with entertainment, with romance, with the fear of the worst, with the COVID, with the scare, with the money, with the bills, with the debt. There's a general conspiracy. This system is rigged. If you go the way culture directs you, you will die empty, just average. You must be defiant to self-actualize. So what you have asked me, how important is it? It is so fundamental that if you marry a person who is not conscious, the day you yourself, you become conscious of it, you will fall out irreparably. Johnny, the difference between a person who is intentional to evolve and the one who is not intentional to evolve is like day and night.
Nice. Yeah. Wow.
I asked the doctor who explained the concept of the eye. They were explaining how this eye, the nerve crosses, its own crosses. What if you get injured here, there's this eye that gets you like that. And they're explaining just the iris. They're explaining to a person at a company to go and seek treatment. And they were saying, if the parts of the eye, actually they do inject the eye. My friend, and just something, and a pimple had grown there. They injected in this and cut it out inside the eye. They can do those things, you know. And he's explaining why a pimple would grow there. A strange place. A pimple, it's just a muscle like other muscles, just a color. Okay, it has blood. You can see veins. And so these are normal. We just cut it out. No problem. It doesn't appear like any. And luckily, it just ended there. But when the doctor explained, I said, we have so much we don't know. After I explained, I said, you cannot invent any camera to come close to the two eyes, to synchronize by themselves any time. He said there's a CPU behind the two eyes, and it's called the brain with a spectacular. And he said, we have not invented two cameras anywhere that can synchronize and see here and 1,000 kilometers within a flash of. After that, I said, where do you find the courage to say there is no God when you have seen such innovation? You can't say blind self-development called evolution. It cannot coordinate itself to that detail. Just to meet the goal of you can see, and those of us who have a big brain, we have given frontal view. Those who need to see, to scan, their eyes are like this, like cows and all that. The eyes are on the side, so they can scan a bit because they are prey. So the guys who hunt look in front, who are hunted look by the side. You know. Yeah. Just to tell you that a person who is interested in self-development will also affect how their spirituality in life. It will affect how they view money, where they take their relationships, how they spend their free time, what they tell their children, the morality about life, what they live for. Johnny, that's an exciting question for me. How important is it that you marry a person who was awakened to travel inward? Make sure you don't negotiate that part. The reason you are likely to marry a person who is not aware of it is when you are not aware of it yourself.
Yeah.
When you are being bewitched by your villagers telling you go to the university, come with 2 degrees, get a partner, as you get, then you rush to grab emotions, people, and get, only to realize later they are settled. A settler marrying a traveler is a disaster.
Yeah, that's very true.
Your birthday has arrived. They are just looking for alcohol. You're evaluating, what have I done this year? How did I feel? You're diarizing. You're trying to look for your true north. You know, one of the places people like travel, I would like travel, and is Israel. Many people want to get that, the Jerusalem they've always read about, the Israel they've always heard about.
Yeah.
So imagine when you are on a pilgrimage of sort, not towards the physical Israel, but towards a place you sense you belong. Huh? Just imagine that. You are homesick for queendom. Just imagine with me. Sometimes you are homesick for having a large home with many acres and horses and peacocks and rolling flowers. Just imagine planting tulips, particular tulips. And you want to grow an exotic crop you see in Japan. So you are homesick for that life. And you want it in 10, 15 years from now. And you know, to get there, you need to earn this kind of capacity, you need to master this skill. And you keep hearing those who are living that life, how they talk. Sometimes when you drive to the suburbs of the city, the leafy suburbs, the cars on the road are very different. You notice that? They're very different. It becomes very easy now to see Porsche Cayenne. Very easy. It's all over. It's now the field of that side. It becomes very easy. The smallest car there is now the Prados. Now, okay, where are we? You know, what if that's what you're homesick for?
Yeah.
You know, the roads in the leafy suburbs are a canopy. You drive under trees. Can you get that in Eastland? They cut every tree, every little thing. I just admire the way those guys let nature be. It's not anybody's, it's just, but you're driving under complete canopy. It's heavenly for me. I belong here, you know. And I find them walking dogs. Here we stone. What are you fighting? Surely, what fight do you have with? These guys are walking, small kitten, small peeping at you from the pocket. Yes. People having an easy life. People are gardening everywhere. This one gardens are just on the road, but they're gardening, labeling. What if you feel homesick for somewhere like that? But the one you are with, take life as it comes. Take easy. Then they start making themselves unconscious with drunkenness or with hiding in church. People go to religion many times not to grow, just to hide from life. Yeah. So they start burying themselves. One guy said the wife is coming at home at 11 p.m. Even if when she's in the house, she's reading the Bible. She's not even available. She's not interested sexually anymore. She's just hidden and gone away to church and using to hide. What if now a person just slumps in that life? Where is the connection? Two don't work together until they agree. Yeah. You should know where you're going so that you marry a co-traveler of that direction.
That's very true.
So let's come to how to keep yourself relevant. You have seen that growth, self-enhancement is actually a journey. You cannot ignore it when you're marrying. Even the fact that you're moving faster than that person will make you to be drifting. Divorce lawyers have coined a word they're calling submissive provider. When a woman has moved so far ahead, but she still needs to be the one led under him. So she has to submit to the one she's also providing for. It's very confusing and conflict. When she's earning 10 times, 20 times, and she's growing, and he has arrived. He has arrived, he's comfortable. In a small job somewhere. Just imagine a guy in a small job, where he has been for 15 years. This lady is always making moves, hungry for somewhere. Now you see the difference.
Yeah.
He is not stranded, he is just comfortable.
Yeah. That's true.
The first thing you're going to do in order to keep yourself forever valuable is that you don't focus on settling down in marriage. You focus on setting off in marriage. Not settling, but soaring. That mindset itself makes you so rare that your partner understands. Should they screw up with you, they might have to regret you until they die. People who hold your hand and say, let's go. They're not there. People are looking for a place to hide and be comfortable. Many people are not trying to fly. People are trying to become. If you tell them the ticket to Russia, the air ticket to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and you're just going sightseeing, you know. No medical agency. You know, some people travel because of emergency. You're not traveling. I would like to do a medical tour of India one day. India has really advanced medicine. Recently, America has been trying to catch up, but they're only trying to catch up. India picked medicine and went away with it. Particularly substitute medicine, not the pharmaceutical. They have also advanced a lot in alternative medicine. Medicinal foods, herbs, and all that. They have really advanced. I would like to take a tour, imagine. Just to pay and converse with the biggest merchants in that. That I like reading about them. They have shops around.
Yeah.
They really have shops. Now, telling somebody who doesn't care that I want to take a tour to go learn medicine of India, and I will spend 3 million. Exorcist, come and remove demon. This guy wasting money.
The spirit of wasting money.
Let me tell you. But if I marry a co-traveler, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
I tell him, you know. And by the way, this is a genuine concern of mine. Africa does not have serious herbalists. For us are witch doctors. When you say herbalist, you find people who can't prescribe what they have given you. They even hide the name of what they've given you.
They don't even know what contains what they've given you.
so, and they just give you one cure for all. They write 20 things there. This thing cures 50. But I love it when the Indian guys label the name, what they have mixed in there, how they have ground it. The same hibiscus tree, they tell you, this is the flower, this is the root. Root is specifically concentrated in this and that, and the stem is concentrated. This is the powder you can use when it is green leaves, boil this way, and they write for professionally. And they tell you, I never knew that herbals can have side effects. Tell you, some of them are heavy. Can I make you sleep a lot? Just the way they treat, they're active. These are active things. So, yet they may not be as bad as the pharmaceutical, but some of them, if you combine them, some are for shedding weight. They're really heavy on shedding weight, though they can help with other things. Others are heavy on cleansing, detoxing.
Yeah.
So you should not take them, for example, when you're expectant. This is a detox effect. It's trying to help the body fight, to make strengthen immunity very much. You know? That gave me another, I became very curious. And they say the reason your doctor is not teaching you this because many of them are taught a maximum of 2 hours or at most 10 hours throughout their training of alternative medicine. That's a pharmaceutical worker. I am an alternative medicine worker. I use herbs and food. So he said, if you don't learn to use food as medicine, you're going to make medicine your food. Before you eat, swallow this, swallow this, swallow that. But if you plan your life, if you plan your life early, so that inside your diet is what cures you.
Yeah.
I loved that, and I said one day, and to immerse my children in that interest, I will go with them.
Baptism by fire.
Here for 1 week. Here's another alternative you know, biggest merchants, biggest sellers, two are there, you know, and then they said some are cosmetic. You don't have to wait until you're sick. Some just make your skin better, but you don't have to wait for crisis. See, some are even spicy and they're still medicinal. Why not? You know? And he said, you wonder you don't have to import them. I'll teach you, and some of them are in your place.
Yeah.
Get this one, you know it. Neem tree, yes, I've seen neem tree. Have you seen? Yeah. So go use this part, you know. And he said, if you don't have the time to gather it, then we gather it for you. You know? Yeah. Just to say that you should become a traveler. One of the things you need to anticipate with your partner that makes them just the one you want to go home to is the plans you have for a vibrant life.
Yeah.
The traveling, the experiments, the dreams. We call it co-dreaming. When you become the one you can co-dream with. You're exclusive now. You're getting monopoly. You don't know. I'll also tell you about spiritual tourism.
Yeah.
Spiritual tourism is when you begin to venture into higher realms of self-transcendence and self-actualization. We said two qualities at that time. Ashwa is doing it, Lily, we are saying the peak of your experience as a person is transcendence and ecstasy. Transcendence is to outgrow all limitations, to learn to control your feelings, control emotions. These concepts were first given names by sages in schools of life. They will go to just schools of life teaching people, and they become guru, they'll become sensei. Teachers went to study life, self-mastery. Stoicism, you have heard of those schools of thought who attempted self-mastery and the highest life. Then we got the language that the highest experience is, the Bible called it, whoever controls his spirit is better than one who conquers a city. When you can transcend the things that make you feel guilty, keep you taking you back, the emotions you can't control, the anger you can't control, the desire, the craving, the urge, the things that they keep taking you back, leave you regretting, transcendence. You transcend them until you feel in control and calm. The other thing is ecstasy, highest pleasure, connected and relevant and needed and loved and cherished. That is what I call spiritual exploration. When you are with a person who you say, let's try this. You try that. Let's go. I saw this somewhere. Let's try it. And for me, my wish that I wasn't sure whether I would get it granted was to get a girl who just has her own reading interests. That was so meaningful to me. But those women are so rare.
Yeah, true.
Women read by themselves. They would rather just stay on mirrors decorating. They would never decorate the brain. They just decorate the head. They have longer salon days. No problem in salon. But why don't you also get a book? Get a material. And I tell you, it's such a beauty. I was given more than I asked. Now I know if you ask, you'll be given. Because she not only reads, we even overlap in our reading flavors. For the first time I saw a woman who reads Robert Greene. Robert Greene is not easy. Not easy to read. He's not emotional. He's just dry facts.
And women are more emotional. They want something they'll connect with.
When he's writing the 3 strategies of war, that's just masculine language. But I will hear my girl, some lessons here. She said, some lessons here are very socially applicable. And people like me, she's such an empath and she was aware. I tend to empathize so long and get hurt. So I'm trying to learn from these social teachers. I felt ecstatic that we can catch each other.
Yeah.
When you become that, I know I don't want to replace this girl. To find a person who can catch me on that. Because mental intelligence is like a privilege. You can't say, I ran out because this person doesn't really stimulate me mentally. Then that is on the periphery. Yet it's so important for most of us. The other thing I want you to do, keep yourself very relevant to your partner. In fact, this one is a secret that you can use to make them addicted. It's used by hoteliers. Any hotelier, and they'll tell you this, who learns their customers and their particular flavors, so that the customer doesn't need any more to explain. That customer becomes extremely loyal. To customize a meal makes the person very loyal.
Right.
True or false?
True.
You know the restaurant that just knows. Other places you have to quarrel. You have to keep reminding. You have to forbear. Endure the meal. But that waitress who knows you, oh, madam, you're here? So today we are doing this on that. Let's do that one. Once you mention, they bring exactly. This is how I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Get this tip. If it is true with the food, it is true with the love. So number 2, you're going to customize, learn them and customize your love for them. Learn their particular idiosyncrasies and customize to them so that they don't have to adjust too much.
Yeah.
People are prepared to make some adjustment, but if you make it so that they just have to flow with who they are and you accommodate it easily, that is so lovely. And you do the small things that you know will matter to them.
Yeah.
Will matter to them. Do you know, I realize when you might find a woman who goes out of her way every time to do something good, something little you can do is to just notice and say, thank you. How much does that take me to do? But it lingers and she's seen. It's the least I can do. What Paul said, the only reasonable response we can do to God is hearted gratitude. When you come to see how much he has done, how much he's done for, the only reasonable response is gratitude. What about reasonable response to? You see a person who's making effort, who is growing, who is being there. One guy said, while introducing his wife, I married this girl for the person she is, how we rhyme so well. But when we got children, I got another reason to value this woman. The way she loves our children. And he would say, we hired many helpers, we worked with many doctors. Usually when you're raising children, you're always in those places. This clinic, that one. But she would pick which one is good for our children, using things that I would have taken too long to see. And she always turned out to be right. Thank you for being the, she said, thank you for being the lifeline for our children. So much so that I know they had a smooth childhood. For them, they don't know because they've not learned the world. Sometimes we appreciate our parents later.
Yeah.
After we see what others have gone through. Or when you start parenting yourself, you, Mom, how did you do it? You know? But that guy I loved and I connected with that. Said, this girl learned that the way we love our children, and I could sleep in peace knowing she's around. Our child will be safe. Our children are safe. She took care of what we treasure. Do you know that's how much our partners do for our business? Our education, our growth. They do so much for our health. They do so. If you see how they are going out of the way, then you also go out of the way. Do you know I learned when you're a bachelor, you have a lot of privilege to swear. You don't like cleaning home. I don't like kitchen. I don't even go and like, it's so boring to arrange this vacuuming things and get somebody to do it. When you marry, the love compels you. When you see how much the person, you bother don't care what you don't like. You learn it for the one you love.
That's true.
But so when you start customizing that much, to care about things that are a pain to them. Some things for your partner is a pain. For you, it's a pleasure to do them. You enjoy doing it. It's very easy for you to fix it. And then you start going out of your way to just make sure you shelter them there. They get so used the same way the hotelier, the waitress who knows your order.
Yeah.
The way you like your meat done, particularly this way. When you know how to make your partner's meals, quote unquote, love meal, particularly this way, they will get addicted to you and no, I don't want to go again, looking for a person to train them.
Or how I like it done.
And I tell you, it goes down to driving style. How you carry this person when you're driving on the road. It goes down to tone of speaking when you're around each other. It goes down to how the small things are arranged in the house. It goes down to where you place shoes when you come in, where you place the umbrella. It goes to how it's small things, but you learn they're important to them.
Yeah.
If you customize yourself, it takes a lot of attentiveness.
Yeah.
This takes attentiveness. Noting. One guy told us, you have your phone, you have your diary, write all the important things about your wife, the important dates, the important this, important that. Important that. When I was young and naive, I used to say, I don't answer women's clothes. When it's on the hanging line, it looks like a child's clothes. When she wears it, it can't. Now, what is what? I will never buy. God, no. When you get married, you only have one woman. Take a tape measure if you need to.
Yes.
It's only one. In your effort to learn to love your partner according to how they would love to be loved, you are going to learn things that were naturally not your strengths.
Yeah.
They're coming extra mile, you're coming extra mile. With time, Jonique, you don't want to interrupt that. That person values you the more. Because you can just say small things, they understand what you mean. They know when you want to have a longer nap. They don't bother you. They know when you're tired and you don't need to bother people, but they step in to cushion. You feel so good.
Yeah.
When you just need help in things naturally, they say, Joanny, my wife likes cooking, so she will cook. But just had a very long day. Let me organize an alternative. You arrive home wondering now, so much. He has already organized an alternative. How does that feel home? So understanding. Yeah, just rest, take some rest. I will handle that.
Yeah.
You feel understood.
Yes.
Whenever you think of interrupting this, no, this person understands me.
And I love what you're saying, because it's almost like that communication becomes very improved. Because you find, like, for example, even in the world, communication is ever being improved. Technology is ever being improved.
Yes.
So you find that even in your marriage,
Yes.
for you to even get to understand more the value of, what your partner is bringing in terms of value, there's almost like that communication that it's not even loud.
It's telepathic.
Yes, it's not even loud, but you understand what they mean.
Yes. And even from far, you can go shopping and you communicate without talking.
Yes.
The sellers want to know what you said, but you communicated. And
you finished the whole conversation.
When one of you says something, it stands for all of us. They can't even play you. Sometimes they play us. They make a child to cry for the talk.
Yes.
No, one of you can handle the situation. You know where we are.
Yes.
It becomes so comforting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It becomes so easy, and when both of you are unsure, no blame. If you would say, let's buy this, it turns out bad, we don't blame each other, just laugh it off. We just say, it is no problem, we have learned.
Yeah.
I think that element is what makes you uniquely important to your partner progressively.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in closing, maybe let's just talk about commitment and support, because you find that at times, you need that extra, you need that helping hand, maybe when times are tough, as the man in the relationship, or even as the woman, as you've mentioned, like just the person knowing that you love doing this, but since you're worn out and tired, I can step in and help, the part that commitment and support actually plays.
Yes, that part of commitment that sometimes I will suffer the pain to spare you the pain. When you see them doing something that is uncomfortable, just so that you don't have to deal with it, you feel that they are committed to you.
Right.
Jonique, let me remind you, to have even one person who cares about you that much, you are blessed. One. And when he says we make them one flesh, I think he meant that your pain is also, I feel it.
Yeah.
And when I can alleviate it for you, I will alleviate it. I did not know that it also means hurting other people for the sake of my partner. Saying no and disappointing people rather than disappoint my partner. Or delaying any commitment until I can hear the input. That is so powerful. When I'm not sure where we are, I won't take engagements.
Yeah.
When you value your partner, you can never buy land in secret. You are signing deals in secret. You are promising sending money in secret. You are even to my own relatives. You can't go behind my back to send my. We are together. I'm not talking about scarcity and poverty. Even when we have more than to spare, we are managing our relationships together.
True.
We are managing our things together. Even our children can't play us. Dad, don't tell mom. Just say. Then I take mom's phone and I send with it.
Just to confirm that.
And I inform her. Your daughter was saying I should not inform her. To let her know.
That will be a one.
From then on, they'll be like, Dad, Mom, we have this and that. Oh, now you're talking.
Yes.
So what are you guys talking about? Then we can burst your bubbles. Whatever you wanted to play us. One of the things that I forever appreciate my girl is she goes ahead to be the designer. Like this jacket, for example. I never knew velvet. It never crossed my mind. It's not my world. It's not it's not my thing. I live in the world of ideas, world of my space. So you find yourself so closed in your space, whatever is upcoming in the other side, you're not aware of it.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, this sounds familiar. It looks so good. How did you come up with it? What if what you are naturally good at, what you do at work, you coin it to give your partner just the best experience? Just imagine that person who knows things about traveling. They may not even be a traveling consultant. It's an area they're interested in.
Yeah.
And they just get the perfect holiday arrangement from their interest. Just knowing which hotel they can go this weekend. And this partner never has to bother. We have 3 options. These are the range. The person took the time to know what is going on. That is an ambiguous gift that it is something. And you live to appreciate it because the person makes my life easier in this sense.
Yeah.
When the person is committed to keep our life better in the aspect they are naturally good at, that maintains a kind of constant appreciation. And what does appreciation do? It makes you to want to return hand, so to speak, by doing something else. And when we are competing to do things for each other, it's immense.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's amazing. And this one has been very enlightening to us. And I hope it has been to you as well. Thank you so much for finding time to join us today. Till next time, goodbye.
There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu